This is Review Your Gear Radio with your host Chris Hustad and Jason Renner. Coming to you with the latest topics, reviews, and techniques for hunting and fishing in the Midwest. And here they are, Chris and Jason. Take it away, boys.
Hello, Review Your Gear Radio. I'm Chris Hustad.
Jason Renner.
Season 4, Episode 6. We're calling it In the Heat of the Bite.
The bite is on.
The fishing is on everywhere. So let's get started. First of all, I'm excited, Mr. Renner.
You're finally gonna put your hands on a boat.
So, long story short, I ordered a new boat and it still hasn't arrived, and I had to make the decision to get another boat. So I picked up a used Yarcraft, and it's fully loaded. It's got everything. So it'll be water ready. I can start pre-fishing for the big muddy, for the DWC as early as Saturday.
So I'm just gonna ask you, what made you fall in love with this boat?
You pointed it out to me. That's the first of all. No, it was good taste because, I mean, really, when I went and looked at it. I drove up there, looked at it, and I mean, I don't want to say I fell in love with it, but I mean, it was set up right.
And you're the type of guy that you know what you want in your boat. You know what you have to run what you want to run. And
it had everything. Even had the bonus airwave seats. So I'm looking forward to that.
And the Cisco track system.
Yep.
Which that's really caught my eye when I first saw that boat. So
and there's 12 rod mounts. Just saying.
You can put a trolling rod in every position in that boat.
I might try. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
But I'm excited. I'm going to be fishing. So we got a tournament to prep for. Excitement.
He's excited. He's a happy camper.
Yes, I am. So let's talk in the heat of the bite. Let's talk ice fishing.
Kind of the contradiction. I mean, literally, you have to start planning because we can get across the border as of now.
Right.
I mean, but where's that ideal destination that, you know, I talked a little bit about Winnipeg, Fort Peck. There's definitely some drivable, great fishing destinations within driving range of North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, if you want to put some big fish on. So, I mean, I'd love to go up north and fish for big walleyes, or I'd love to do a Fort Peck run for trout.
Okay.
I've talked to a couple guys that just got back from out at Fort Peck. Talking 150 fish days out there.
Wow.
Per acres.
Wow.
Jigging in 70 feet of water. I mean, it just sounds like a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not every day you can put 150 Lakers in the boat.
No.
Anywhere.
No. And could you imagine doing that through the ice too? Because I heard they put those kind of numbers out. So
okay.
So that's kind of two of my go-to things is the Winnipeg, of course, and you know, check off that list. But it's always hard for me coaching hockey or traveling hockey. But 3 more years, then my daughter's in high school, and then I can just send her on a bus.
Nice. I am going to have to go with the whole Saskatchewan, you know. There's a hidden lake up there. Well, I don't want to say it's hidden, but it's actually quite big. But
it's a little bit of a secret from around here.
It kind of is.
Secret.
But we do have an access to a 5-bedroom lodge that's on the lake, in question, and I'm told if I go there at the right time, which is early winter, it's not home any but how many walleyes you catch over 30.
It's a big fish.
But you evidently catch a lot of them. Like, I think he said they caught like 60 some last season before the new year, before Christmas.
It's only considering of ice. That's probably 30 days worth of stuff. It's two over 30 every day.
It's incredible.
That's a good fish.
So, I mean, he said you catch a lot of fish, but you're there for big fish, like, and they do go over 15 pounds. They have gotten them up over 16 as well. So, I mean, there's some true giants in this lake.
Sounds like I have to dust off my passport.
Yeah. And also, speaking of passports, this actually make a good headline, but we'll talk about it anyways. You see because of the bird flu, about transportation of birds across the border.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So
you can't bring birds back from Canada?
Not. It looks to be that way.
Huh.
So what do? You gotta go up there and, I mean, seriously, what do you do with them?
So can they process them up?
I don't think you can bring them back. But here's the thing. Oh, by the way, I've heard of people processing. I've heard of stories of people processing north of the border and then coming to the border with it all processed.
Yeah.
They'll cut your legs off for stuff like that. They don't fart around.
I've been strip searched at the border practically because of a shark tooth necklace.
Sweet.
One shark tooth necklace.
Wow. Must have been some necklace.
It wasn't really much.
I'm actually just picturing the g'day mate. One of the, what was that guy's? Crocodile Dundee.
And his crocodile tooth necklace.
Yeah, exactly.
That's importing animal parts in the United States. That's what they told us that shark tooth was.
Someone's just splitting hairs.
Oh, it was as like 6 RVs drive by. We're like, 22-year-olds coming back from going up to hang out at the bars. And yeah, it was quite interesting.
We one time went across the border in college. I'm sure you did this a lot. I think it was at Emerson right across the border. Yeah. And we had some beverages and we came back, and I'm not going to lie. The driver was okay. Everyone else was 3 sheets to the wind. And these people at the border were just looking at us like, oh, here's these guys. They let us go through, but I was just waiting, like, how many miles are we going before we get pulled over? This is just
they're calling ahead.
Right. Like, they're like, look at these guys. Nope, made it home. But
got a hot one. License plate.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about leeches, the forgotten fury.
God, as a kid, and this was on Sakakawea.
We said it.
We never used crawlers. That's serious. That's all we did was use leeches up there.
Wait, was that the norm for everyone?
A lot of people back then.
Okay. So it was more 50-50, where now it's by far crawler dominant.
Nobody, I very rarely see people pulling leeches.
I've had good luck with leeches, but I've never been up there and been like, wow, if it wasn't for leeches,
Oh, God. Hammered brass spinner with a leech on a sunny day was just...
So why did we go away from it?
I don't know when the last time I pulled a spinner was.
It's been a while for me, too. It's just not in the repertoire anymore.
I'd love with that water that came up to go throw some slip bobbers in the back bays.
Mm-hmm. You might see that in the tournaments, in the Cup or the DWC.
To get those fish out of those weeds. You got to lure them out something. Because you're definitely seeing there's a lot of small fish out on those deeper points right now. So the big fish are either they're up in the weeds or back in the bays, or they're out working the big smelt piles,
Right.
So, and that's the key. And we've talked about it before. If you're on numbers, are you on the right fish for a tournament?
Right. Right. Which brings up the next question or topic: best way to fish with a live scope or active target. These tournament anglers in the East have mastered. It seems like what they call power corking. We've talked about it briefly, but which is a fancy way of bobbering a leech
and speed fishing.
Yep.
It's almost like they cover territory with it. They let it sit. They target certain fish. But did you see the new release from Humminbird?
I did.
So takes your Ulterras and moves it into a sync up with your Humminbird's active target? There's Mega Live.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's Mega Live, and it syncs up with that. So your spot lock, you can lock on a certain thing, and you can see exactly what that. You don't have to mess with turning a dial or anything like that. It
Yep.
syncs everything together. So it's pretty impressive. I mean, the one I seen that had the Mega 360, and I mean, Jesus,
two things you can't get.
Yeah.
You won't be able to get this.
And the other thing is, what is the cost on this full deal?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
first of all, seriously, this is notorious for Humminbird. They come out with this stuff, and then you can't get it.
For like a year. It's like, oh, we got one sample at this lake from this bass fisherman, and no offense to us walleye fishermen, we don't have the numbers that the bass fishing guys do. Is the bass guys will see it before we will. 110%.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That's where the money is that's where the volume of fishermen is, even though, per capita.
Insert bass fishing joke here.
Yeah, exactly. But per capita, I mean, there's probably more walleye fishermen because we're smaller, but you're talking bass fishing throughout the South.
There's no question bass fishing dominates.
Oh, yeah,
walleye
numbers.
Fishing.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's night and day.
So where's their advertising and that all going to go? It's going to go that way.
So this is kind of a joke I had the other day on Hatebook. Minnkota Ulterras. Why do people still use them? AKA Genesis 2.0.
Have you seen the web pages dedicated to Ulterra products?
No, I haven't.
It is like, what was it? 130,000 members.
Wow.
It's some of the larger fishing problematic pages are for the. I mean, you wouldn't know one.
No,
you couldn't give me one.
No, that's me.
Yeah,
that some people love them. Now you have some people that Marsh. I saw a post on the topic. He said he's had his 3 years. He fishes a lot with it.
Yeah.
Never had a problem.
I hope that's my brother got one because he's got 2 rebuilt knees. I understand him getting them.
Yep.
Totally understand that. And and then he's got it. So supposedly there's a way where if you do something, push the button 3 times, it automatically stows even at troubleshooting. So supposedly they updated it to where it stows like that. There is a button pattern now.
Wow. Button pattern. What is this, a vape pen? 3 clicks and it'll deploy. Let's have some tales from the Chub Tank.
Tales from the Chub Tank.
So, it's that time of year. It's the water's high. There's a lot of moisture coming down lately in chub grounds, and
plus, but it's also that time of the year where water temps are up, so keeping them alive,
right,
becomes the struggle.
Right. No,
as you've cried many hours over dead chubs because of it.
I'm not gonna lie. I've gotten a few text messages and phone calls this week. We got the Cup coming up, the Governor's Cup. And of course, the DWC, everyone wants chubs for both. And there's no secret. It's probably going to be a chub bite.
Correct, with the back bays going
Uh-huh.
and water coming up.
So
I have been told for the first time ever in a small town that we need to be quiet about this.
What's that?
Chubs, don't talk about it. No.
It's Tales from the Chub Tank.
Dude, everybody knows. It's no big secret.
Yeah, there's really not much secret. But, I've found there's a lot. First of all, chubs aren't easy to find. If you're going to find them on your own,
No.
you got to dedicate some time. Second of all, then you got to figure out how to fish with them. I mean, it's not rocket science, but there's definitely nuances to chub fishing where small things can make a big difference, whether or not that fish holds on or spits.
Correct. You kind of are trying to solve that right now. Little, maybe a future topic of review your gear.
My investment this evening.
You even
Why don't we have a talk about that? I don't see that sounds that secret.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. So, Shields has a new rod. Well, I call it new because I've never seen one.
Not in that tournament series. Like, I think it's supposed to be a softer, like, crank pulling rod.
Okay.
But it's 2-piece. But God, that's got that nice flexible
little taper on it.
Taper that has some give to it. And I think everybody's like, I don't think you need that sensitive a rod for a chub rig. Do you really?
I don't know. Well, I will be honest. I'm intrigued. It's $100 rod, so it doesn't break the bank. And it's 8.6, so it's going to get away from the boat. And it's got, like you said, it's got a pretty dang decent tip. And then paired with the right reel, I think it's going to be, I think it's going to work.
Only time will tell. He's going to test it out, folks. He will test it out.
First, you got to find said walleyes to put chubs out. But with that being said, that's Tales from the Chub Tank. So it's definitely camping season.
Correct.
So let's talk about little essentials for portable grills.
Now, you just put a new one on the camper.
Yep.
How'd that work for you?
I like it, except for the front burner sometimes, for whatever reason, cuts in and cuts out on my Weber, mini Weber,
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not as consistent. I have to blow on it to make sure it comes up. It's kind of weird.
Is there something in the tubing or something? No?
I mean, I guess there could be, but I mean, it's not like I forgot to take a piece out of the tubing or something.
Take a bottom bouncer.
Yes. Probably not a bad idea. But no, as far as, it's a grill.
Yeah.
It's a good size one for a mini. It's got those two, what do you want to call them, arms that stick out that you can set plates and stuff on. So it works.
Hey, it cooks a burger, right?
It cooks a burger, cooks chicken, cooks steaks.
Yeah, I to be honest, my favorite is still the little Weber charcoals.
Yep.
Those are still one of my favorite camping, nothing fancy other than the fact that you got to take the time for that charcoal to burn out. But the argument I have with my family doesn't like the flavor of charcoal.
What?
Yeah. They like wood pellet flavor or they like gas, but charcoal just...
That's almost...
sacrilegious.
It is.
I know. Tell me about it. The struggle is real.
What I'm speechless.
Yeah.
It's charcoal. Come on.
I don't know. To me, don't get me wrong, I love my pellet grills, but a steak on charcoal, by far the best. Just that flavor of good bricks and a good ribeye.
What's amazing is ever since you bought that pellet grill, how much that man bun you've been growing has been flowing.
I wish I
full of man bunness.
I've done some pretty amazing stuff on that Camp Chef this year. The poor man's brisket, that was stupid good.
I never got to try any.
That was
You
was
sent
stupid.
pictures and didn't save any.
Wow, you were camping when I was doing
I know. I'm just
But I will do it. I will. Next time I do it, though, I am getting a fattier piece of chuck roast.
okay.
Dried out a little bit on the ends.
Okay.
And, I'm being flippin' picky. I mean, the normal person would be like, oh my God, this is so good. But you know me. I'm very picky about my barbecue.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Let's take a break. We'll be right back here on Review Your Gear Radio. And we're back here on Review Your Gear Radio. Let's get into the next topic just right away. Best place for a fall cast and blast. Since we're talking winter destinations earlier, let's talk the fall.
Well, doesn't kind of that change if that can't bring birds back?
Yes.
I mean, if you can't bring waterfowl back, that kind of takes Canada out of play.
What's going to be interesting is the flu really going to just keep lingering all the way from the nesting grounds and then migrating back down?
So my question is it the USDA that's shutting it down?
There's articles that I'll be honest, I got to read them. I saw the gist that people were kind of freaking out about.
Because that's the big thing is the agricultural fear that it's going to wipe out the turkeys and the chicken farms and all that jazz. That's the biggest fear.
Well, if you're a conspiracy theorist, someone's already doing that.
True, but you don't get what I'm saying. I mean, it's they're trying to prevent it from wiping out the
right.
So we don't have our Thanksgiving turkeys. I mean,
Yep, can't have that.
Can't have that. So
let's just jump right into a Mille Minute.
You can't even look at a walleye on Mille right now.
You forgot to start your Mille Minute intro.
That is and was and going to be the Mille Minute because guess what, people? You can't do anything about it.
You can't look at them. If you're on the water and you're in a lake, you're like, huh, wouldn't that be cool if a walleye fish? Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's not smart.
As Dana Carvey would say, not gonna die.
Oh.
Not this juncture.
Oh. It's just terrible. Just terrible. But that's all right. You try.
I try.
Has the rod and reel technology hit a standstill? What new has come out in reels and rods that has just been such a game changer?
Nothing. Can you think of anything besides different tapers and stuff like that? But what is there an absolute graphite that now is so sensitive that, like when Loomis's kind of really first came out, or even, the magnesium chassis came out. I mean, has there been anything that's really... I guess the next thing I think is going to happen, I think there's going to be a digital gear system on baitcasters. Like where they have the magnets now.
Yep.
I think that's maybe the next one, but I don't know. It's hard to say.
Well, that is interesting. It seems like what I look for in a reel, for example, has not changed in like 10, 15 years.
15, yeah. It's just, it's just not there. I mean, look at line counters. What's really changed?
They added more plastic.
They've gone actually backwards,
right?
In my opinion,
I agree.
But I mean, there's just nothing. And that's walleye anglers again are all going, "Where's the flipping switches?"
Right.
On the bait casters, because they took them all off of, because guys don't flip anymore, I guess, or whatever. They control it with their finger. I don't know, whatever. But us walleye guys that like those flip and switches for dropping bottom bouncers and stuff are like, where's the flip and switch? So
Right.
there's very few reels that have that anymore, and I think the ones that are custom ordered for that switched. So I don't know. It's just kind of we're at a standstill.
Okay, fair enough. Let's jump into some headlines. Salmon on the fly. So this is kind of interesting. This comes from theguardian.com. Essentially, there's a salmon farming company that bought a Boeing 757 in order to get its fresh fish on the plane into Manhattan in less than 24 hours.
How much does that salmon cost?
Exactly. It's a Scottish salmon company. And they're arguing that it has less emissions. So I mean, in the end, is it really about green or is it about the money? Come on now. It's about the money because they're trying to get fresh fish to a market of people that they're catering to that will spend the money for it.
So they can charge, what, 10, 15 bucks more a pound, probably, because it's flown within 24 hours.
It says 35 tons of fresh salmon chilled to 0 degrees can be flown from Scotland and Ireland directly into New Jersey.
So a 10-hour flight for salmon. Caught that morning, on your plate.
Sounds amazing. Not going to lie.
That'd be pretty good sushi.
Oh, don't even get me started. And in other news, Fish and Game is teaming up with local nonprofit to provide a day of fishing for special needs youth. This is in Twin Falls, Idaho. The Idaho Fish and Game partnered with a group called the Call Beyond Adventures, which is pretty cool. It gives special needs and disabled youth opportunities to hunt and fish. So this particular day, they had a really cool event, and looks like a lot of fish were caught, a lot of good times. You know, it's one of those feel-good stories. It's,
yeah,
you can never have enough of.
No, we definitely don't have enough in this world of that stuff. I definitely agree with that.
And lastly, no wolf hunting season in Minnesota anytime soon. The Minnesota DNR released a draft of its wolf management plan last week. Well, it's been a couple weeks now. This is actually a delayed one, but the current estimate is at 2,700 animals. The wolf population has to exceed 3,000. So it says based on the current numbers, he doesn't expect them anytime soon.
Yeah, but that's only 300 more critters. That's one good pupping season.
I wouldn't disagree, but, coming from a biologist, you'd like to assume it's accurate. I don't know.
I guess, and again, if the grounds of the area can sustain that population.
That's a 10% increase, and it's in the threshold to hunt.
Yeah.
So that's not that far off when you really think about it.
No. But again, is there enough game? Is there enough food? Are they not, picking off farm animals to,
Who do you think they're catering to against in the hunting season?
Oh,
yeah.
Let's be honest. What state is it?
It's Minnesota.
Yeah.
So, the best intro walleye boat, sir.
I mean, I brought this up because, there's a lot of good boats out there, but, I mean, I've fished out a couple tillers lately. I don't mind this. They've really improved these entry-level tillers. These 16 to 18-foot aluminum tillers are kind of impressive. But even the fishability on, let's say a 1750 crossover or a Crestliner. I'm going to steer clear of Tracker. Sorry. No offense, Tracker. I'm just not impressed with the build of your boat. But as far as the aluminums, I was going to have you take a peek. Did you take a look at the G3s up there when you were there?
I did not.
I'm curious to see what that boat, some of those layouts.
Historically, haven't they been really heavy?
D3s.
Yeah, I've always been told that. I don't know if that's fact.
But I think they're a little heavier. Same with StarCrafts. That's kind of the common aluminum market up on North Country is they carry the heavy boats.
Okay. Okay.
But I mean, I am a little bit favoritism towards the Lunds and the Crestliners, but you do pay for those. But I mean,
But when you get a best intro, think about it, a walleye boat. When you think of a walleye boat, what's the first thing you think of?
well, Lund's one of the
Yeah, well, not the brand, but I'm thinking deep V.
16 foot, 17.
Even, but you need a deep V.
Yeah, absolutely need deep view.
Walleye, you're in the waves. They don't call it walleye chop for nothing.
And let's be honest, what are most walleye lakes? Pretty big lakes and reservoirs.
Right.
I mean, there are some small ones out there, but even the small ones in the Dakotas, I mean, talking North South Dakota, roar on a windy day.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, but I just think that's a great entry level boat. Is whether you want to do windshield, single console, tiller. I mean, there's some great boats out there right now. Biggest thing is find. Well, you found this out. Find what works for you.
Right.
That's the whole key. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, you need this one or need this one. Find out what works for you. Find out are you going to troll more? Are you going to pull Lindy rigs? Are you going to pitch jigs? And I think, I don't know, this may be a no-brainer, but spot lock is an absolute must on every boat these days.
And pretty much every boat has it now.
Yeah. I mean, you got to have that. And I'm certain to say side imaging is an absolute must.
Yep. I would agree.
So,
I would agree.
But that's just my 2 cents.
And when you fish out of a boat that doesn't have it, you're like, we can't see anything. I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do. My boat doesn't have side imaging. I'm selling it.
Right. Energy drinks, good or bad for you?
Wow, we know the answer to this.
Yeah, they're not good for you.
But they are delicious.
They are delicious. The one thing I worry is about overconsumption of caffeine.
Well, and there's 2 different ways. Are
you yawning? Are you fighting a yawn?
Yeah, I'm fighting a yawn. But there is a way, some of them have what's called natural caffeine, which is, I think, derivative from green coffee. Like the Ghosts. Those are supposed to be natural. But then you got the Monsters.
Or the Bangs and the Rock Stars.
10,000 bazillion megagrams of freaking caffeine that are coming from, God knows.
Synthetic, probably,
I'm not going to lie. I tried that Ghost, that orange creamsicle one this weekend. That was pretty good. I was actually pretty impressed with that.
What stinks about it, though, is like after I had like a 12-pack, it started to fade.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those flavors that kind of, I don't know, loses on you.
Yeah, it did. In Ghosts, unfortunately, pretty much all of them I've tried are too sweet.
Yeah.
Extremely sweet.
There's no sugar to them, but they're
right. But they're sweet.
It's like drinking a popsicle.
I know it's probably not one of the better ones, but I still like the Rockstar Hydrate Orange. Tastes like Tang. It's not carbonated.
Yeah.
I dig that one. It's 160 milligrams of caffeine, so it's like kind of a lot, but not really compared to like Bang or something that has 300.
My still go-to is a 12-ounce sugar-free Rebel.
Yep, I agree. Can't disagree there. What's cooking on the stone? I had, this is actually not that exciting, but I had chicken, bacon, and hash browns going last night.
Ooh.
Epic stuff. I've really mastered making my hash browns crispy.
Well, that's important.
That's I know, but that's not always easy to do.
No.
But on the Blackstone, it is.
Yeah. put a little oil down there and let them sit, and they crisp up beautifully.
Yep, I actually like to add a little butter. I put it on top and let it gradually melt down.
Nice.
I mean, butter and potatoes is just it. Yeah, it works.
Last weekend over the 4th, I cooked every meal except for the ribs on stone.
Nice.
So we did brats and hot dogs the first night, not a big deal, But the second night, I did a pretty epic shrimp and chicken fried rice.
Nice.
6 cups of rice. I mean, I made piles of it. And the nice thing about the stone is it's so quick.
Yep.
And the chicken marinated in teriyaki and cooked up nice. And then last thing you do is you put the shrimp, and it's the last thing you do. It's so nice. And then I did steak sandwiches the second night.
What kind of steak?
Ribeyes.
It's ribeyes. Okay.
Chopped them up. A little bit of cheese on top. And then
what kind of cheese?
I would cheat. White American.
You didn't go with Cheese Whiz?
Didn't go Cheese Whiz. Did White American. But I did have some onions on the side. That's the other thing I love about the Blackstones is making caramelized onions on that is so just some butter and heat it up. And then once they're done, you can kind of slide them up next to the edge. And they stay warm, but they don't overcook them.
I get you.
I just love that about that. And no, it was good. And of course, burgers are still some of the best on that thing. I just love flat top burgers.
Yep. I can't disagree. I'm going that way a lot. Lily, why you keep coughing? My dog, I'm sure you hear in the background, is like, hairball.
That's what happens when you have dogs and cats.
Right? Since we're talking about food, what is the best frozen pizza of all time?
Pizza Corner, the original, where they got spot.
Okay. I was going to say that's actually a notable for me.
Yeah.
There is a place in Chicago, I want to say it's called Bertrossa's, but I could be wrong. I may have to Google it. That you can order in their pizza and they ship it like overnight. It's expensive. Don't get me wrong. It's like a $50 pie plus the shipping.
Plus it's true Chicago.
But it's like 3 inches, 4 inches thick. It's got layers of everything, meat, onion, peppers, goodness. It's amazing. You have one slice and it's a meal.
We've all. If you've had the pleasure of having true Chicago deep dish, it's awesome stuff.
I know a lot of people are like the New York style is the best. No, it's Chicago. I can make some Chicago jokes about that's the only good thing in Chicago. I'm just kidding, Chicago peeps. If all 3 of you in Chicagoland that listen to radio. But no, Chicago, style. I may have to order one of those in again for a special occasion.
No, they are great, but the one that snuck up and it's kind of my go-to for me and my wife.
What's that?
Is Green Mill frozen pizza at the grocery store.
Yeah,
their Extreme Supreme it's got caramelized onions on it.
Why didn't Green Mill work here?
I don't understand. I don't think it worked. Where is it still though?
I don't know.
Fargo's closed. Grand Forks is closed. Is there Green Mill still?
Green Mill food was good.
Oh God,
they had good drinks. They had a good
pizza.
Everything was
appetizing.
Remember the spinach dip?
Oh, it was phenomenal.
So what happened?
I have no idea. That.
What happened to Green Mill? This is the stuff that we Google here. And see, it's still, they got locations. They still have 20 plus locations.
Oh, come on, bring it back to Bismarck.
Albert Lee, yes, it's Minnesota. Still has Grand Forks.
I thought it was closed up there. Maybe they just moved it.
Hey, there's some in Kansas even, but it's mostly Minnesota.
Yeah. God, I like that place. They had decent wings too.
Yeah, I had a bunch of friends that worked there. But yeah, the one thing I do miss the most about Green Mill was their spinach dip. That was next level. In the bread.
Yep. Mine was the El Primo pizza.
Okay.
It was just Italian sausage, just meat and good cheese. It was delicious.
Give me a good Thai pie as well.
Oh yeah, the Thai pie was good.
What was that? Old Chicago?
Old Chicago.
Yep, they had one heck of a Thai pie.
Have you tried? What the heck is that place up there? Mackenzie Rivers Thai pie.
No, I have not.
They do have a Thai pie up
there. I just don't order pizza at a place like that. They have meatloaf with bacon around it. Elk meatloaf, remember that?
Yeah.
Is it still elk? I don't think it's elk anymore, though. Green and everything. Well, in typical fashion, we had to end it on food. I'm Chris Hustad.
I'm Jason Renner.
This was Review Your Radio. Thanks for tuning in to Review Your Gear Radio. Be sure to tune in next episode, and don't forget to check out reviewyourgear.com. Also, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Till next time, tight lines and good times in the outdoors.